So action is being taken right now. Speaker Kevin McCarthy just confirmed that a debt ceiling vote will likely happen on Tuesday. This could save millions of Americans from huge financial changes to Medicare and Social Security. The Federal Reserve is also making adjustments to their plan to tackle inflation this coming June. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video today. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced that Congress will meet the deadline to raise a debt ceiling, acknowledging that no deal has yet been made, but vowing an agreement will be reached in time to prevent a government default. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen raises stakes in the marathon negotiations on Friday when she provided the first hard deadline for when the government will be unable to pay down all of its obligations, which is June 5th. So as if Congress can meet that deadline, Speaker McCarthy did not hesitate to say yes. McCarthy found that he will stick with a 72-hour rule, providing lawmakers a full 3 days to read the text of the legislation before they're asked to vote on it. McCarthy said he's been in talks with Senate leaders about how much time they will need to ensure the June 5th deadline is met. If a deal is reached tomorrow, that would set the stage for a House vote on Tuesday. Speaker McCarthy declined to name the barriers as he and his deputies haggle with the White House negotiators over the last outstanding disagreements, but he said Republicans have not dropped their demand for permitting reform, which is designed to eliminate regulatory hurdles to energy infrastructure projects. That is something Democrats have opposed, for fear they would degrade the environment at the expense of poor communities. Speaker McCarthy also confirmed that Republicans have been in discussions with Senator Christian Sinema and moderate Democrats on the particular issues. The House Speaker outlined the rollout of any deal, saying he would make a vague announcement but withhold the details of any agreement. This is to allow lawmakers to read the legislation before the press and the public do so. Dear friends, what are your thoughts about what's going on in our government? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Still, people all over the nation are now wondering what will happen to their personal finances if lawmakers do not reach a deal before the U.S. runs out of money to pay its bills. Based on the Social Security Administration's payment schedule, a June 5th debt default might actually protect beneficiaries from the potential of delayed checks and direct deposits. Individuals receiving disability payments are slated to receive their monthly payments on June 1st, while beneficiaries age 88 and older are expected to receive their payments on June 2nd. If the U.S. Treasury Department is unable to successfully prioritize payments to Social Security recipients, the consequences for these groups could be very devastating beyond the initial group of payees. The SSA's monthly payments calendar suggests there is a bit more breathing room for other beneficiaries, providing that lawmakers reach a deal beforehand. The next beneficiary payments are not expected until June 14th. The debt default picture is also cloudy for individuals who rely on Medicare and Medicaid to pay their medical bills. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which administers those government health programs, told NBC News earlier this month, defaulting on national debt would severely damage the crucial healthcare programs that millions of Americans rely on, since Janet Yellen announced that a debt default could happen within the first few days of June. Short-term U.S. borrowing costs have soared, as investors demand greater return for the risk that they won't be paid on time. Wells Fargo economists said in a recent note to clients that even if a payment prioritization plan were implemented, such a plan would be entirely experimental and would still come with technical, economic, and political challenges, as millions of consumers have learned since the Federal Reserve began its campaign last year to make borrowing more expensive in a bid to slow inflation. Higher interest rates affect everything from credit cards to auto loans, student loans, and mortgages. Meanwhile, thousands of businesses are already experiencing greater difficulty getting loans and also hiring more workers. While my greatest and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video.